Adam Taxon, main administrator of the Daily Beck page on Facebook. Here is a clip from the Glenn Beck Program's third hour on Thursday, June 7th, 2012. Sometimes the situation calls for satire or humor, and Glenn and company don't usually do that, but when it's called for, they do it extremely well. And here they are talking about nanny statism regarding food and soda bans, and it talks about Michael Bloomberg and Michelle Obama, and I find the Michelle Obama part really funny because the satire is perfect for the way she tries to sound very intelligent, like an expert, as if we don't see her as the kind of person who goes on boondoggles with the taxpayers' money all the time, and as if we see her as the kind of person who's a real Princeton scholar, as opposed to a total affirmative action beneficiary her whole life, who, while at Princeton, dealt with the scholarship of race issues. So here you go, and see if that fits the description of Michelle Obama here. Enjoy.
Michelle Obama is, of course, for the Bloomberg soda ban. Bloomberg says we've got to stop people from being so fat. We have to make sure that we're limiting their ability to get soda. Get the hell out of my face, Michael Bloomberg. He wants to make sure that Uncle Mikey will be there for you, and he'll take care of all of your needs. He's gonna put the calories on all of the menus, so by the way, studies have shown that people end up ordering more food when the calories are there. But thanks, Uncle Mike. I appreciate it. It makes me go, wow, I thought those fries had more fat in them. I guess I could have more. He wants to make sure that nobody is smoking, nobody's driving their car. He wants to make sure that you're not having too much soda. And I appreciate that. Because he's already helped me cut out all of my trans fats.
He tried to help you cut down on your salt, but the city council wouldn't let him.
Yeah, but
you're too stupid to cut it down yourself.
Right. Now, Michelle Obama, who also thinks you're too stupid, she's all for this. Mm-hmm. Here she is. Michelle Obama. Here she is.
Mayors, local communities should make the decisions that they think are best for their community, because there's no one size fits all. What works for New York may not work in another city, and vice versa.
Hold it just a second. Wait a minute. Hang on just a second. I'm just trying to get my arms around this one. So the woman who is for universal health care says that everyone should have local control.
Yeah.
Because what works for New York may not work elsewhere. But New York, what works for New York, we have to tell Texans, you got to do the same damn thing, because this is perfect. Now, the sodas get very complex. That gets very good. We got to leave that in local control, because that gets so unbelievably complex. Healthcare, heart surgery, brain surgery, we got that. Can we do that? That's just a blanket. That's a blanket policy. Everybody gets the same. Okay. These people are insane.
That's a pretty good point.
They're insane.
Something that's going to happen that we're going to, be pushing at a federal level. But, we applaud anyone who's stepping up to think about what changes work in their communities. New York is one example, but there are many communities that are doing, things like figuring out how to build more sidewalks so that, people can actually move.
Hang on just a second. Whew, I have been struggling with how to build more sidewalks
it's so hard.
For a while.
I mean, you could pour cement and let it solidify,
but where?
I mean,
do you
that's
put it
the thing.
Next to the street? Do you put it in the middle of the street? Do you put it through the houses? Where to put the sidewalk?
I know. Do you put it up the mountainside?
I don't know.
I don't know. Out in the middle of a field.
We have been doing studies on how to build sidewalks. It's a newfangled idea. Not a lot of people. We were thinking, because we live down here in Texas, where nothing but cow folks and cow patties. We're thinking about, should we build wooden sidewalks?
Right.
So when you walk with your boots, you're like clunk, 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 and then we could replace all of the doors with shutters. So you just push your way into the saloon, and they swing back.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be great?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about that. But these sidewalks.
How to do it. How to do it.
We are trying. We're working with people in cities now. There are many communities trying to figure out.
Dallas hasn't figured it out yet. There's not a single sidewalk in the Dallas Metroplex.
Of course
not one in the DFW area.
How do you build them?
Yeah, we don't know.
I wish we had a government study to tell us how to build sidewalks.
I heard Miami tried to just pour cement in the middle of the ocean, but it sinks apparently when you do that. Which is
who knew though? Who knew until they tried it?
I was doing
it's trial and error.
Experiments at my house. I filled my pool accidentally.
Okay, we tried it.
But the nice thing is, my kids have a lumpy sidewalk now in just kind of a big rectangle in the backyard.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
So I'm building a ramp for it now. I have to figure out how to get the ramp and the sidewalk, lumpy sidewalk guard. Because I have to have a fence around that lumpy sidewalk now.
Right.
You wouldn't want to let anybody just play on that sidewalk.
No.
You never know what could happen.
But you're hung up on the sidewalk thing. There's so much more.
Really?
Localities are trying to do now.
Okay, good.
All right.
Their bikes, how to take public space and turn it into play spaces. So
How do we do that?
Just a second. How do you do that?
How do you do that?
You know what? I think many employees of this company have figured out how to take workspaces and make them into play spaces, but I digress.
And we're working on that, yes.
I think you two are the chief offenders, but I'm saying.
Many ways that leaders can get involved. One of the efforts that we have through Let's Move is Let's Move Cities and Towns.
Yeah.
Stop.
So we're trying to move cities and towns, too. Like, I don't like where Salt Lake City is. It's too close to a lake.
Yeah.
And it's a city there, but it's by the lake, and that is... sometimes you get the smell.
That's the problem with Chicago, too.
It is.
And the
Same
other
thing,
part
so we're trying to move it.
Chicago is it's windy and cold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have they thought about moving Chicago down to San Diego? If we could move San Diego is a great city. Why don't we move San Diego to Chicago and Chicago to San Diego?
Let's move.
Why don't we put them on tracks? Wait a minute. Listen, hear me out. We put them on tracks and we let them share. So one winter, San Diego's in Chicago, and the next winter, Chicago's in Chicago.
That's fair. That's the only fair way to do it.
Wait a minute. I'm not done.
Okay.
I'm not done. And those tracks, we build the tracks on sidewalks.
Oh, yeah, but we don't know how to build sidewalks. That's
Damn
the only
it.
problem. We're so close.
You were on it until then.
To a breakthrough. Man.
But this is such a great idea because she wants it all controlled, but not federally.
No,
you got to do that in a local level.
Well, except for the federal program that's controlling the local programs.
Yes.
She doesn't. She wants local programs, but the name of her program is Let's Move Cities and Towns. It's a federal program directing the local programs. So she wants it to be controlled by the local programs as long as they do what the national program is directed.
And a lot of these local...
all they're doing is nudging you in to do it. Now,
That's all they're doing.
If you don't do it, what was the Bloomberg quote? We just have to force you to understand.
That's a good point.
You need to figure out how to build sidewalks.
For instance, in Dubuque, Iowa, they're doing a really neat thing right now where they're taking electric cattle prods and jamming them into people's mouths when they're trying to put a burger in there. So it shocks their tongue and it stops them from eating. But we're not suggesting anybody try this on a federal level.
Oh, no.
It's just something they're doing in that locality.
That's like the Topeka, Kansas program that's going on right now, which they are taking giant corks and corking you like a wine bottle, so there you can't eat any junk food.
Now, are they suggesting that be like a national?
Oh no, it's not even a state program.
I'm not sure I would be for the cattle prod or the cork.
No, in Poughkeepsie, New York, they've done something you might find interesting. They're surgically removing people's tongues completely.
Yeah,
that they can't taste food anymore, and they feel like this will really help them stop eating.
But it doesn't matter if Michelle is for that or against that?
It doesn't, because it's just in Poughkeepsie. They're not asking that you try that federally.
All right. She doesn't have a program, let's remove
tongues. Not at all. That would be silly.
All right.
But she applauds Poughkeepsie's effort to surgically remove people's tongues.
Yeah, that's kind of like what they're doing in Hollywood, Florida, which is they have an interesting program going on.
I've heard about that.
I've not heard of any of these. You guys seem to have these down.
No, this is good. What they do is when they take junk food and it comes into the community in the trucks, what they have workers that go into each truck and they just poison about 20% of it. So you don't know that you're going to die, but you could die.
Might.
If you go and buy, take a Twinkie.
Okay, wait a minute.
But it's not federal. It's not a federal program.
Just a local program where they sprinkle rat poison on certain foods.
Exactly. Just 20% of the food.
So this is like here in Las Colinas, Texas, the new policy where they just let you eat what you want.
No, it's not like that at all. That's stupid.
That's awful. That should be outlawed.
Stupid program
Federally outlawed.
People could get fat if you do that.
But it works here for the people.
No, it doesn't work. There are fat people. I've seen them.
Yeah, no, it's true.
There are fat people. I'm one of them. And it's because they let me eat too much.
Well, it's because they don't have innovative programs, I think.
Right. If they had a local program here on a local level where they say, surgically sewed my butt shut.
But they do that in Albuquerque.
They do that. They're trying it in Albuquerque right now.
Hang on just a second. I've got a couple of questions. A, do you eat with your butt?
No.
And if you do you have teeth in your butt? How do you chew your...
No, the food goes in the normal way. It just can't come out. So if I eat too much, I simply blow up.
Yeah, you're incentivized to not eat too much.
I think if you sew your butt shut, you might blow up anyway.
It's possible, but we're trying it. I'm not saying it's perfected. And we're not asking everyone to do it. We're just trying it here.
Laboratories of democracy.
Can I tell you something? If you had your butt sewn shut,
yes.
I'd like to ask you to go leave the studio and maybe go stand on the sidewalk, but we haven't figured out how to build them yet. So if you blow up, somebody get him up and have it handy.